Hello and welcome to the Legends of Tabletop podcast. We are on again tonight. Oscar and I are going to be doing a sort of year-end wrap-up review sort of thing going on. So here we are.
Happy end of year. Low low Saturnalia. Happy winter solstice. Merry Christmas.
Yep, Yule.
Hanukkah's over,
Yep.
but hopefully, if we can all make it, Happy New Year. The way this year's been, who knows?
Right. Right.
This has been a reaper of a year for so many people. So I know a lot of people are very eager and will be very happy to see it go.
Absolutely. And no expectations set for next year.
Oh, I've got tons of expectations for next year. I'm like the guild helmsman, plans within plans. Um, yeah, I'm gonna be hitting the new year running. Pun intended.
Maybe like a fast walk,
Yeah, trot.
a canter, if you will.
We'll start with a scuttle. Oh man.
Well, on that note, it's good to have you because
Yes,
Jesus, maybe we almost lost you once or twice.
I know it's been a rough time, but I'm still here. I'm able to stand, so I'm still standing. I'm on cane now and getting stronger every day. So,
That's awesome.
uh, already talking to my day job about my return to work. They'll be reinstating me, and I'll be back to the grind of being a normal person. And hopefully, I will be able to resume driving this weekend.
Oh, nice.
I've not driven since April.
Right, right.
And you know what? Sometimes the fat guy just wants to drive through, McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts, or on a real bad day, White Castle.
Right.
Um, and I just haven't been able to do that. I mean, literally, have not been able to drive. So
Well,
looking
it's just a
forward to
certain
that.
amount of freedom too, right? Like you take that for granted that like you could just get in the car and go somewhere, and
Right,
and
right.
you can't, and you haven't been able
Until
to
you
do that.
until you can't. And while I was on heavy narcotics, it was fine because I
Right.
didn't care. I didn't really care about anything. But I've been taking really heavy narcotics for like almost a month now, and I'm real antsy to start doing more stuff. I mean, so the
Hmm.
car, being able to drive will free up a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
And how about you? What's going on? How's
No,
how's the cold?
I'm mostly fine. I mean, it was 2 days where it was really kind of shitty. I actually wound up taking a day off from work, so spent the whole day in bed, which is
Good
unusual.
for you.
Uh,
Hard
yeah.
reset.
Well, yeah. Sometimes you get like you have to. Like I'm just I'm just the guy that usually push through everything. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just not going to do it.
We're not as young as we used to be.
Yeah, you're not kidding. I got a fucking a brace on my elbow. I was trimming out the hedges yesterday, and I had to like get out and like swing the
Uh-oh.
trimmer with just the one arm, and my elbow is fucking killing me.
Sorry to hear
It sucks being old. I'm so out of shape. It's not even funny.
that. You and me both, man. I've not been able to I'm even with I'm going into my second month of physical therapy. I'm still on a treadmill. It's
Hmm.
still all just so I'm dying to get back to the gym, but
Yeah, yeah.
can't drive. I can't walk without a cane, so that's not happening yet. So let's what is so far your favorite gaming moment? And it doesn't have to be one of my games. I know you play with a lot of people. Your favorite gaming moment of 2023.
Individual moment. That's tough. Uh, man, I don't know. Because for me the experience is like just us hanging out and fucking around. So
Hmm.
like all it's really good. Um, can I alter your question to
Sure.
say that the character Huxley that I play in Jesse's Runners game is one of my favorite characters because he's so unlike the kind of character that I normally play.
Mhm.
it's a real, not a real stretch, but it's just so different that it's so much fun to play.
Right.
Because we don't metagame ever anyway. So like,
Whatever
it's
happens,
even more
happens.
fun
Yeah.
because he's so innocent that it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna do this thing because I wouldn't know any better, right? Like he just doesn't get it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, so I think, yeah, I don't know. I think it would have to be him. Individual moment, man, it's hard to choose. And all the games run together, right? Like
Yeah.
so many
Yeah.
games. Um, well, so let me dial it back then.
Okay.
I think maybe then when we lost Jesse's character,
Yeah.
Herminius, like just the way that it transpired, because I was pretty sure that Jesse was dead, and
So
I knew it.
who do you think we were traveling with for like that last year of the campaign?
Well, it was a fetch or a changeling or
Okay.
whatever.
Right.
I had a suspicion,
You were the
and
only one.
but then in the moment, and it was set up so beautifully. Jesse got up on the bow and grabbed the rope and faced to the sun and like fell apart. And I'm like, motherfucker, because I get just caught up in the moment and just completely like didn't clock what was going to happen, and it was pretty cool.
With me, that entire last game was just to set up that moment because
Yeah,
it was like a recap of all of these NPCs that you'd adventured with and encounters with coming to wish you well, and then even offer you, oh, there's this thing going on in Caledonia along the border that we could use your help, and you guys were like, and I was willing. If you guys had chosen, we would have played one more Britannia adventure. But you
right.
guys were like, "Nah, it's time. We've been here. We've done what we set out to do. Let's go home." And I was like, just feeding it up and letting you like remember the whole campaign and to like do the recap episode.
Yeah,
Just waiting for that, and then that moment on the boat. And you had a suspicion, but you'd I think been lulled in the immersion of it, so it
yeah,
wasn't like a surface thought.
right.
But Niels and Regina were just completely blindsided by it.
Hmm.
And to Jesse's credit, he played it so well because he dropped hints all the time and no one picked up on it. There were like major parts of his character's personality that changed after that moment
Yeah,
and nobody picked up on it. But
yeah,
he had a great time. And that's like a once in a decade role playing moment when you could play that long game and it actually works.
yeah.
If the group stays together long enough and are so connected with the material that you act, and with good players, it's so much harder to sneak
Hmm.
anything past them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a major point of my year
Well, well, no, Girl on the Pines was 22.
last year. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was running that at Necronomicon.
Right. That was good. I think for me personally, right? Like when we sort of got back into Invictus after all your medical stuff, that first episode, just kind of focused on Macreon. Like that was cool for me.
Hmm.
Going through all that stuff and like seeing his lover again and like just kind
Siege
of
of
being able to
Ostracine.
play host, right? Like, hey, this is my crib. Like, come over and hang out or whatever. Like, that was cool, and it was
Yeah,
nice to get back into it.
right. But
Um,
actually, we played once before that. We played the one in Antioch when you went to
yeah,
Herminius's family. Like you went
yeah,
there
that was
for,
good too. Yeah.
and we had the special guest star of Jeff as his bathhouse girl.
Yep. Yep.
His murderous hobo bathhouse girl that you should have listened to. As
Yeah.
horrible as it sounds,
Yeah.
it's
Um,
like taking off and nuking the site from orbit sometimes is the right thing to do. It's as horrible as it sounds.
right.
But I mean, I don't think anybody could have, anyone what or anyone but Jeff could have lived with blood on their hands in that manner.
Yeah. Well, at least not without giving it the old college try, right? Like,
Right, right. I
uh,
love the moment. Jeff's moment was when I described the demon, and I said, For triple nerd score, name that demon, and he yells Pazuzu.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, we're such nerds. But it was just that was a great adventure. And then the next one, Siege of Ostracine, where we got to focus on you guys talking about in the Library of Alexandria, talking about your time in Britannia.
Mhm.
And then you slipping and mentioning that you actually visited Tiernanog, and everybody was like aghast.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was fun. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the kind of stuff you can only really do in long-term campaigns. But that was
Right,
a lot of fun
right.
for me.
Uh,
It was
we're
great to start running games again after so long on my back.
yeah, for sure. And it was so much fun to get back to it.
Yeah.
Just to continue on with gaming moments, there were some moments in the Noir campaign that Kurt runs over on his podcast, the MFG Cast. If you're not listening, you should. It's great. It's a one-on-one campaign, um, and we've just had some really great moments in the whole campaign, and it's real. It's intense because it's just the two of us, which I was a little reluctant when he first approached me about it. Cause like, I don't know, it's a lot of fucking pressure, right? Like, I'm not that smart, shit. Um,
But also, it's no pressure because it's just the two of you.
yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been like it's like we play, right? Like it's heavy role play.
Hmm.
It's deep character stuff like that. That whole campaign has been a ton of fun.
Some of my favorite games of all time were one-on-ones.
Mhm.
Just totally fucking around. One of the best games I ever run was a one-on-one in a freezing trailer with a broken window
Oh, jeez.
on a Christmas tree lot while my bro had to keep stopping to go sell Christmas trees. And we were huddled around a space heater in this a camper.
Mhm.
A tiny camper too, not like like a toad camper, a
Yeah,
two,
yeah.
like basically like a one of those gypsy wagons,
Mhm.
as, but it was an amazing game, and it's like again one-on-one. I think that's the when it works, it's magic.
Yeah. For a long time, our Day Trippers game was just two players with Todd as the GM, and it's really intense. It's really personal. When you're invested in the story and the characters and stuff like that, like it was some of the most enjoyable role playing I've ever had because it is just so you're like in the moment all the time. Like it's just really good. I think you're not with 4 or 5, but like, and we play online, right? So there's not a lot of table talk. There's not a lot of fucking around. Like we play in pretty much like we're in character and we're involved in whatever's
Hmm.
going on because you can't just like lean over to the other person and like have a little side chatter or like, oh, here's this funny meme on my phone or whatever. Like everybody's in it. So
Right.
yeah.
So what's your holiday cocktail of choice?
I have, which I can't pick up with my right arm because it fucking hurts. I have apple cider.
All right, I have my own brew of coquito,
Oh, there you go.
which is white rum, eggnog, cream of coconut, cinnamon, and nutmeg.
Nice.
Everybody makes it different. That's my recipe.
Right. Sweet.
Very. So I thought we could have a little fun, and I'm going to run you through a 10-question Saturnalia quiz.
Oh shit.
I did it earlier, and I scored an 8 out of 10.
You have an unfair advantage, I think.
But I'm just saying, even me, who's kind of living in this world most of my waking moments, I'm one of those guys that thinks about Rome every day. Even I
Yeah.
didn't get 100. So, okay. So, question one, and we're going to go through all 10, and then we're going to score you because the computer
Okay.
does the scoring. Uh, the Saturnalia was observed in honor of the Roman god Saturn, but for what reason was it held? The date Saturn was overthrown by his son Jupiter to celebrate the new year, to end the to mark the end of autumn harvesting and planting, to celebrate the Roman victory in the Punic Wars.
It's either B or C. I'm gonna say C, the end of the harvest.
Okay. The first Saturnalia was recorded to have taken place in 497 BC. Which group of Roman officials were required to be at the celebration? Lictors, consuls, senators, or kings?
Consoles.
Okay. On what day of the Julian calendar did Saturnalia begin? October 17th, November 17th, December 17th, and January 17th.
I'm gonna say. Well, let's see. There's no December in there, right? It went November to
October,
January.
November, December, January.
I'm gonna say December, although then that kind of invalidates my other one, end of the harvest. I don't think they harvested December, even in the Mediterranean.
Which of the following actions was part of the events that marked the beginning of the Saturnalia celebration? The fire was lit in the Temple of Vestra. There were special games in the Colosseum. There was a parade in the Forum. The wool was removed from the feet of the statue of Saturn in his temple.
I'm gonna say games.
Which other god was connected to Saturnalia celebrations during the later Empire period when it was celebrated on December 25th? Jupiter, Neptune, Apollo, Sol Invictus.
Um, hmm. I want to say Sol Invictus. Yeah. Final answer.
Final answer. The common greeting during Saturnalia in ancient Rome was Lo Saturnalia. Some sources believe this was the origin of what common holiday phrase used today? Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Joyeux Noel, and Ho Ho Ho.
I'm gonna say Happy New Year.
How long did the Roman celebration of Saturnalia last? 3 days, 7 days, 5 days, and the duration varied throughout Roman history.
Oh, see, I was gonna say 5, but I think it's the last one. I think it probably varied.
There was true or false. There was to be no work during the Saturnalia.
I believe that's true.
Okay, which of the following statements describes the celebratory aspect of Roman Saturnalia? The Saturnalia was only celebrated by certain people at the Temple of Saturn. The celebration was both a public and private event. There was a public ceremony during Saturnalia that all could attend. The Saturnalia was a private festival. Each family had their own tradition.
I'm gonna say public and private.
Okay. True or false? The best source for information about Saturnalia is Virgil's Aeneid.
Um, true.
Okay. Submitting the answers. Hold on.
Maybe I got like 3 right.
Okay, 1. To mark the end of harvest and planting. You are correct.
Sweet.
Number 2. You are incorrect. It was Senate, not consuls.
No.
You are correct. That this little Saturnalia begins on December 17th. You are incorrect, and I got this one wrong as well. Wool was removed from the feet of the statue of Saturn in his temple.
Hmm.
I don't know why they're uncovering his feet in winter, but okay. You are correct. It is Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun. You are incorrect. Lo Saturnalia is not the origin of Happy New Year. It is the origin of Ho Ho Ho.
Huh. I would have never guessed that.
Okay. You got this one right. I got that one. I got it wrong. The duration of the festival did vary throughout Roman history. I'd said 7 days, but so I blew that one. There was to be no work during Saturnalia. You are correct. That is true. You are correct. Saturnalia was both a public and private event. And you answered true for the best source about Saturnalia, and that was false.
Mm.
So you got 6 out of 10. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
I think
I'll take
we got the same 2 wrong, I think.
Yeah. I learned it from you, Dad.
Well, happy Saturnalia to everybody out there.
Yeah.
So what are you most looking forward to role-playing wise in the new year? I'll go first to give you a minute to I really want to get involved as a player in the new Old Gods of Appalachia role-playing game. I love the podcast. I support the Patreon. I don't know if I was physically, emotionally, mentally, or financially able to back it when it came out.
Right.
I mean, it's been a rough year. I thought I had, but then I realized I hadn't. So that's the game I really want to try this year. If I play one game, I'm going to say I'd love to play an Old Gods of Appalachia game, which is weird. Yeah.
I am not a big fan of Cipher System, so I and licensed stuff is weird, right? Like it's like what kind of space you have to play in, and it's a weird thing for me. But that's cool. I mean, it looks beautiful. I mean, the pictures I've seen of the book and everything looks fantastic.
Right. And I'd also love to get involved as a player in a Cthulhu Invictus game that I did not write or edit or read or like sight unseen. And I was really hoping to do that with the new book we've got coming out. Like I've got writers writing, but they just give me the pitch, so I don't know the ebb and flow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, maybe I could act as a play tester and just kind of like, go at it with my blinders on, like And then when Chaosium was approving the book, they wanted to know detailed ebb and flow of the entire plot line. So I've had every adventure spoiled for me. But it was, I had to get it approved. So
Yeah.
Still a bridesmaid.
Yeah. For me, I don't know. When we were at PAX, I talked to Jesse and Leslie. I think for next year, one of the things we're going to do is get into more one-shot style games.
Mm-hmm.
We pretty much only play long form, and then inevitably those campaigns fall apart and nothing ever gets finished. So like that's somewhat anticlimactic.
Mm-hmm.
But because we were only able to get into one game together, we played a game of Simba Room, which was fun. We had a really good time, great GM, great table. But like we were really trying to get into Pirate Board. Jesse really wanted to play, and we couldn't all get in together. So then I got to thinking, I was like, well, shit, maybe I'll like get a hold of Luke and see if maybe if he'll run it, for us, and we'll do an interview and whatever. So I'm looking forward to trying some new systems, like because again we play long form, so like we've played a bunch of stuff, but we've played a lot of the same stuff over and over. So I think it'll be a good opportunity to kind of like stretch our legs a little bit and get a chance to, either play with people we haven't played with or play with creators we haven't played with. Like, and then you really get a sense of the way the system is supposed to be run.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Cool. All right. Not really sure where to go from here. I mean, is there anything you want to talk about end of year?
So it was weird, right? Because you were like, "Hey, let me know, like, what games we streamed, like, what did we do this year?"
And we haven't really done much because I've been so out of it.
Right. We played Invictus only 4 times, and most of that here towards the end of the year after you've been feeling better. And there's some pauses throughout the year because Niels is his college professor, so like his time then beginning into the year is limited. Breaks from school and like finals and those sorts of things. So like some of our time is kind of wrapped up and sort of boxed out from that. But overall, tonight, this is only our 30th stream for the whole year, which kind of blew my mind a little bit because we play once a month. Like all of our games are once a month, but we have like 4 ongoing campaigns. So it seems like it should be a lot more than what it was, but like, we're always, it's like family first thing, right? Like, oh, kid's sick, we'll cancel. You're at work late, we'll cancel. We know it's like, well, we have to stream because we said, first Sunday of every month is the stream. Like we don't run that way. So we're not opposed, we don't want to cancel, but we're not opposed to canceling.
Right.
And then there was a burnout situation that happened around June, where they pretty much forced me to not do anything. So we punted like everything for like an entire month.
So there was also that time I was gonna join you guys for running Swamp Song.
For Swamp Song, yeah.
And I ended up back in the fucking hospital with the infection raging.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I got home from the hospital, I was listening to the actual play as I was falling asleep, on narcotics and in just absolute pain. And it was so fucking depressing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I should have been there. Like, I never finished it. I fell asleep and I didn't have the heart to go back and listen to it again because it hurt so much when I was listening to it the first time, knowing that you and I would have finally got to play together as players, which we're still trying to fucking do. But
yeah.
That's as you said, life.
Yeah, it's one of those things. We'll get into something together at some point. And that was Doc ran a great game. Like it was great, great table, Bridget, obviously, right? The funny thing was we get to the end, right? Because I reached out to Doc and I'm like, hey, look, Oscar, asked me to play, wanted to remember my character so we could play together. But he's not coming. How deadly is this scenario? Because we've got a rule. Like I only get so many adventures with this guy. So like if this is like a no-win game, like that's fine. I'll bring
a free jet.
Yeah. And he's like, no, it's fine. Like, it'll be fine. So we get to the end, spoilers, for a game that I've already released. And we get down into this crypt or whatever, and Doc reads the thing and it's like, don't wake the sleeper or whatever, something along those lines. And Dave's like, hey buddy, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh my God, Dave, like he just told us what to do. We just got to grab these people and get the fuck out of here. Then it turned into like a whole thing. I'm like, God damn it.
That is funny. It was almost like the trick ending for Siege of Ostracine we just ran. That could have really turned into a whole nother bag of shit. But I don't talk too much about that because I'm running it in a few months.
Well, it's not the first time I've jumped on something to prevent other things from happening. Because I'm like, it's probably fine, right? Like, it's a zombie. It's whatever. It's fine. Until its head fucking snapped around and its arms like broke. Like, wow, this is fucking bad, guys.
Oh my God.
Not what I was expecting.
Right. Well, I'm definitely hoping for a better year with better role-playing opportunities. You know what cons you're doing next year?
I am doing Necronomicon, obviously. And I will be signing up for stuff that you're running. Fuck it. I mean, I haven't in the past generally just because, we get to do this, right? So
yeah, but that means I've got to run something that I haven't run for the streaming service. I got to debut a new game.
Yeah. So I'll sign up for something that I haven't played.
Okay.
And then I'm doing RinCon, which is one of the small local cons here. I would do Maricopa Con, but it's scheduled for the same weekend as Necronomicon.
Oh, wow.
Come on, dude. What the fuck?
And they always say the same things like, "Oh, it's the only weekend we can get." There are fucking 52 weekends, Come
It's
on.
always August, and I always try to give him heads up. I'm like, hey, Necronomicon is going to be this week this year. He's like, okay, cool. And then invariably, it's the same weekend. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. Happens all the time.
Yeah, I don't think we'll do PAX next year. Like my whole PAX thing was I went to go hang out with Jesse and Leslie, and I ran into Chad. I tried to find Amy, couldn't find her. So like it's same thing with Necronomicon. For me, Necronomicon is just a hang. It's a week long hang. Just fuck around. So PAX itself is kind of irrelevant to that end.
Yeah, because you accomplished that already.
Right. But like if you were feeling well enough to come down, if Chad was going to come down for, Saturday, Sunday, like, if we coordinate a thing, then I would definitely do it.
Where is PAX?
PAX is usually the first weekend in December. It's at the Philadelphia Convention Center.
That's a long time away.
About a year.
I've never done it, but we can talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll see how we feel at the end of Necronomicon.
Right?
We might be sick of each other by then.
Well, you're doing a couple cons too now.
I am doing Total Con in February. I really hope to be on my feet in a much more stable way by then. Off the cane if I can, but I'll deal with the cane if I have to.
Right.
Then I'm doing Rising Phoenix in April. Then I am doing Necronomicon in August. And I am starting to ponder a return to Carnage.
Right.
In November, late October, depending on when it is and how my year's forming up.
Nice.
And I guess
you might see Jesse at a couple of those because some of those are relatively local to him.
His daughter will have a birthday. He's got like 5 daughters and they have 9 birthdays. I don't know how that works out, but that's just the way it
is. So originally, because he was like, I want to go, but I didn't want to go by myself, blah, blah, whatever. I was like, you tell me when you want to go and I will fly out and we'll fucking go to the convention. Mm-hmm. And then that didn't happen for this year. And then next year, like, I'm going to Italy. There's Necronomicon. There's maybe another PAX. I'm like, I don't know that I could do that.
Yeah, I got a trip to Ohio. I'm going to Ohio to hang out with Jeff.
There you go.
So
that's cool.
I mean, we're both Cthulhu nerds who love tiki bars and karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what we'll be doing? A lot of drinking, a lot of off-key singing, and then followed by some more drinking, probably. But
nice. There you go.
It'll be wonderful. I would love to get a bunch of local Cleveland nerds together for a high-level game and run something in person with Jeff. But
Well, so Amy and Bridget are in Ohio.
Yeah.
So that's not too far of a stretch.
Well, I gotta see if he's up for it. I gotta see if I'm up for it. I can't just plan a game.
Yeah.
To be held in someone else's house. Oh, by the way, I've invited some people over that you don't know.
Yeah.
At least Bridget won't have the door slammed in her face at Jeff's house. So.
Yeah. I think Mike might be out that way too. I think maybe. So, and you got some power players out there if you can get it all coordinated.
Yeah, that would be a team, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I did one scene for Bridget just to start a discussion on villains. And it was such a good scene that she and I ran that I went and I outlined the entire adventure talking into my phone while I was laying flat on my back with the staph infection raging through me. I couldn't sit in the chair long enough to write out the outline, so I dictated the outline into my email and I emailed it to myself. And then I uploaded it, and I still have the entire outline for this great adventure called The House on Water Street, and it's set in
Nice.
Innsmouth. It's set in Innsmouth, and the whole plot of it is,
Well, don't tell me. Maybe I'll play
well,
it.
this is you are hired by someone who does not live in Innsmouth, but has inherited her great aunt's house
Mm,
in Innsmouth. So she wants to go since she can't get away herself. So she's hiring somebody to go to the house, go through it, look for antiques, look for family heirlooms, assess the damage, the saleability of the house,
right.
and arrange to have it put on the market with the local realtors. This is obviously someone who does not know of anything about Innsmouth's reputation,
Yeah, yeah.
but and that's it.
Sounds like a
You're
job for Harry Stanton.
Yeah, you're going to Innsmouth to look over to search the house for like family papers and heirlooms and see if it's sellable,
Mm-hmm.
and if it is, put it on the market. If it's not saleable, you know, arrange to have it torn down and someone buy the land. She just wants to dispose of the property and make whatever money she can make.
Right, right, right. Well, that sounds cool.
Yeah, yeah. And
Well,
of course, stuff happens
yeah, yeah, yeah. As it tends to do.
as it tends to do.
Well, one of the other things that we were talking about this year that you brought to the table was bringing in some, maybe relatively unknown authors and doing some interviews and things like that. So, we had Stuart on. We worked Bridget into that scenario, who had wanted to have on anyway,
Hmm.
because she's awesome. And if you haven't listened to that, go do that. I don't know
I'm
why you're
hoping
listening to
I'm
this
hoping we
first.
can get Cat Clay on in the new year.
Hmm.
She's working with us on the new Cthulhu Invictus collection. Would love to get Morgan on. He's
Hmm.
newish. He's not new, but he's newish. He's got a few
Right.
published things out. Yeah, there's a lot of great authors that are up and coming, and if they're nurtured and protected, they can become amazing. They can become the new golden children of the next generation. Unless you help the new authors, you're not going to have new authors, or
Right.
you're going to have new authors who really are phoning it in, who don't know what they're doing. So it's great, to. I'm a big fan of mentoring. I had a great mentor. I had several great mentors myself that I owe my career to. So now that I have a career, it's like the universe requires me to pay that back.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. With that in mind, maybe we should have Alex on too.
I'd love to have Alex on.
Yeah.
Alex is also writing for the new collection. It'll be his first published work.
Right.
He's
Right.
got a he's got a great he's got a great scenario too. A Wash of Madness,
Hmm.
set in Rome. Just people going crazy in the streets. I'm not going to tell you more than that. Other than it's going to be your problem.
Yeah. Uh,
Uh,
yeah.
it's totally you could like you could just give so much information and say nothing, you know, about it. But no, it was a great pitch. I think he delivered two really good pitches, but somebody else had pitched a very similar idea for
Mm.
the other one, and I'm like, somebody else is doing, an X scenario, and their idea is a little bit better than you, so let's go with this one. He's like, I'm just happy to be in the book. you know, he could care less as long as I'm in.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but no, it's exciting to work with the new people, the new faces, and then to get the older guys, writing again.
Hmm.
That's just phenomenal. Very blessed that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well, that's
no,
cool.
we should definitely start scheduling at least one new author a month. We should make that goal.
Yeah.
One new author a month, newish.
Right. Right.
We'll say less than 5 published adventures. How about that?
I'm happy to have anybody on.
That's true. That's true.
we.
We may break our own rule.
Yeah. 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 Because we haven't done. So in the beginning, we used to do just I did everything. I mean, interviews and
Yeah.
actually like all unboxing. We just tried to do everything. And we really kind of got away from the interview stuff. It's a lot of work, doing the scheduling and,
Yeah.
doing the questions, doing the research, the background stuff, and all that crap. That I started to get away from that the farther things went along. But to be able to bring in people who, are relatively unknown, we'll say air quotes.
Mhm.
It'd be cool. It'd be cool to have people on and give them some exposure. Um, you know, for whatever that means for this platform.
Right. Right.
They'd be better off on the on the MU podcast, but we're doing our part.
Well, maybe after they're on your show, that'll open up the audience and they'll get on MU.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't sell yourself short. You've been doing this for a long time.
we certainly have. Started in 2015.
Wow.
Soft launch at Necro.
Yeah. Wow.
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah. I started GGP in 2013. So I've been doing this 10 years now.
Nice.
And I've finally started to figure out how to run the company without being in the red.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's about time.
yeah. It's a miracle that I figured out what I was doing before we went bankrupt or were sued. So by the grace of God, we avoided lots and lots of rocks. But I think that we're doing a lot better now, thanks to the vigorous support from the fan community. There are a lot of people out there pulling for us.
Yeah. Well, you guys do awesome stuff. I mean, it's not undeserved.
Well, it's a labor of love.
It has to be because there's no money in
And the money, God bless you, Keith Herbert.
it.
You better love what you do. We better have a good time because there's not really any money in it.
Hmm.
But I'm definitely having a good time. I've met great people. I look forward to a whole nother year of great games and interviews and, you know, supporting one another through the daily grind of life, you know,
Yep.
walking people through my nightmares to entertain them.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's fun to play games, but like just as much of it is just being together, right? Like just sharing space and time. The game is just an excuse. Not that it's
Right.
not fun, and it's not that we don't enjoy it. I absolutely love it.
It's something to look forward to. It's something like, oh, I can't wait till Wednesday.
Hmm.
Like those hard days during the week. Then you're like, oh, at least we're playing on Friday.
Yeah, yeah,
Just to have that to look forward to. Sometimes so on the bad week, that's the only thing that gets you through it.
yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
Yeah. Did we do it?
I think so. I think we're good. I think we're ready to see 2013 go bye bye,
Yeah, no shit
and
for
a
that.
lot of cool stuff planned for 2024.
Absolutely. And for us, just kind of more of the same, but like, yeah, that's fine. There's something to be said for that.
Yes, back to more of the same instead of long periods of nothing. Um,
Yeah.
Definitely feel like I lost 2023, but I'm happy to see it go.
Yeah, like 6 months, right? 6, 8 months, like is a
Yeah,
not an insubstantial amount of time to go through what you went through.
right, right. And I was like, oh wow, I'll be home for all this time. I'm gonna freaking write a dozen scenarios. You know, Payne and Oxy had something to say about that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's hard to write when you can't sit upright in a chair for more than 90 minutes without
Hmm.
tears streaming down your face. But
Yeah,
what are you gonna do? I'm I'm like chugging away like a freight train, trying
yeah.
to get as much done as possible.
That's
So the
awesome.
fans next year will have a lot of brand new scenarios to enjoy at the cons with some surprises.
Nice. Cool. Well, we definitely look forward to
Cool. And you'll probably see it first here on Legends of Tabletop because this is where I do my playtesting.
it. I guess don't listen to those games.
If you're gonna sign up for the game, don't listen to the actual play. Don't be that guy or girl. Don't be that person.
I mean, I guess if you do, at least just don't metagame it.
Or, be like Regina and just forget. Totally forget.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. Hey, there's something to be said for that. She's enjoyed the same scenario more than once. All right, then. Well,
Cool.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Yep. Happy holidays.
Just a few more days. One long weekend, and then Monday, boom.
Yep.
And then frantically making New Year's plans, and then holiday season will be over. Start making those Valentine's Day reservations.
Then he comes hot and fast.
Yeah. And my wife's birthday is the 7th of February. So as soon as I don't get much of a break after Christmas, it's like
right.
February is going to be Valentine's Day, her birthday, and a con.
There you go. I'll be working Christmas. I'll be working New Year's.
At the salt mines.
Yeah, well, copper mines, but yeah. No rest for the weary. It's fine. It doesn't, my family's literally 2 minutes around the corner, so I have to go to work, come home, change,
That's good.
Go
That's
over.
good.
So
you don't have much of a commute.
No. And everybody else is online, so we just hang out whenever.
Right. Okay.
Cool.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays, everybody. We have our Patreon up. Throw a couple of bucks at us that way. That's cool. If not, it's whatever. Check out Golden Goblin Press. There's all kinds of good stuff for sale over there. You can't go wrong with any of the products over at Golden Goblin. Yeah. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
And for the Patreon backers, I will be making a special announcement about the second Golden Goblin Press project approved for 2024.
Ooh, all right. Well, tune into the Patreon for that.
Even the people who follow us on Facebook don't know this yet.
Ooh, exclusives.
Yeah. So don't say anything. And support the Patreon for sneak previews like this.
There you go. We'll catch you next time.
Peace.